Hello, my name is Dan Kinjorski, host of the Clarksville Community Connection. And today we're going to be talking to Mrs. Sherry Nicholson, right, from Yaipak. Yaipak stands for You Are Important, People Administering Kindness.
Yeah.
Sherry, how long have you been how long ago did you start Yaipak?
This year, in May, we'll celebrate being 10 years old.
10 years old.
We started May the 26th of 2016.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did it start?
Oh, goodness. Actually, we were waiting for an ice storm. It was December 2015, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And had the bright idea to go down to Nashville and do some last minute shopping and maybe have lunch before we got iced in for a week or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so we were down, it was freezing cold, got to the corner of West End and 23rd. Mm-hmm. And there was a very tiny elderly lady sitting on the park bench. And it was very obviously that she was homeless. Mm-hmm. And I was very bothered by that. It just broke my heart that at her age, why was she there? Mm-hmm. And not somewhere? Where was her family? I just had 1,000 questions run through my head. Mm-hmm. Couldn't sleep that night. So the next morning I told my husband, who does a lot of jail ministry in Nashville,
right.
I said, if you don't get canceled for Thursday night, I want to go with you and I'm going to see if I can walk the streets and find this lady. So we kind of have this ongoing joke that my husband went to jail and I walked the streets, and that's how Yaipak started. But it's literally, they didn't cancel. So he went and did his thing, and I walked the streets around the Hill Detention Center. Mm-hmm. And I found my first lady. Long story short with her, ended up that she was a published author, but through a series of tragic events, ended up homeless.
Wow. I
eventually found the elderly lady that I saw. Her name was Miss Tina. She carried a tiny pink backpack. Mm-hmm. She was about 4'9", real tiny little thing. And it was a joy to get to meet her. I learned through all the years of working with our homeless, not everybody has mental illness. Not everybody has an addiction.
Right.
There are multiple reasons that they're out there, but because of what I found and because of what I learned, it began to drive our projects today. We started going into encampments, and some of my friends were just helping me. And it began to grow because we were finding families that dad lost the job and they were evicted. Mm-hmm. They were living in their car and trying to work and get enough money to find another place.
Was this all in Nashville?
It started in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Those first few months started in Nashville, but I also started noticing more about our homeless population here in Montgomery County. Mm-hmm. And so we immediately started shifting gears and serving here. The dynamics here are way different than Nashville.
Really?
It's so much, the population there, one, is greater. Mm-hmm. There's more places for them to hide in the woods, along the railroad tracks, multiple places like that. And if you don't know what to look for, and it's not quite obvious, they're all downtown Nashville. They're all over the streets in downtown Nashville.
Wow.
Some are very visible and you know it, and others you wouldn't know that they're homeless.
Right.
And same thing here with Clarksville, just a very much smaller population.
Right.
They move around a lot here because there's no real safe place for them to stay. There's no real safe encampment for them to stay.
Right.
And so if they're found out, they have to move out.
Right.
And so we did a lot of work with our homeless here. We still do. They know where we are, and a lot of them will come to us now.
Good.
We still send our outreach team out. Like right now, we have an encampment that's 8 tents strong. Mm-hmm. We call it our new tent city.
Wow.
But we have some that live off of multiple exits along the interstate because it's a corridor.
Right.
Resources are easily accessible over there. Mm-hmm. Those that have been here much longer are usually in the downtown area because they have an opportunity to go to one of the feeding programs.
Right.
So they'll stay typically close within the area of their resources.
So are you seeing among the newest encampment, you said 8 tents strong, are they more transient or are they more local?
They've been here. They've been here.
I don't want to ask you where it is, by the way.
Yeah,
because,
I won't tell.
I'm glad you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to be published.
Yes, sir.
Like this.
For sure.
Yeah.
Some have addictions, and one of the things that we do for our homeless in working with them is we offer to fully support and fund a 12-month recovery program.
That's awesome.
And so we've gotten quite a few off the street. We'll continue to make that offer as we continue to build that relationship with them. Our biggest goal is to make sure that we're bringing resources straight to them, because a lot of times they are not going to go to certain resources. It may be their schizophrenia, it may be social phobia, they may have a pet. And a lot of places won't accept their pets. And so there's multiple reasons. I'm
sorry.
Nope,
but
go ahead.
You've piqued an interest in me, and a question that come to mind. Out of all the homeless in the recent specific, in the history of your work with homelessness, how many veterans do you see in that population? Is there a lot of veterans? Is there minimal?
I would say about 15% of who we found are veterans.
Wow.
That number fluctuates depending on the administration that's running.
You're talking about big government.
Yes, big government. That would fluctuate. We find them, and when we do, we ask the general questions to assess the situation, and then we work to get them reconnected.
Right.
We are in some systems that we can follow them through that system, because we can report in that system that will help VA, Operation Stand Down, whoever's working with them.
Right.
We all put notes in there so we can see that they're moving through that system. And so our hope is that we can follow them through there and know that they're going to get into sustainable housing, because I truly believe that rapid rehousing is a fundamental change and a positive move in the right direction in reducing homelessness.
Right.
But with that, once they're into housing, then we can serve them and help them even further getting them set up. We provide certain materials that gives them phone numbers for access to other resources, things like that. So, yeah.
Wow. So the 12-month recovery program, you fully fund. I mean, that is awesome. Where do you refer them to?
We partner with the Hope Center in that.
Okay.
They have a women's facility and a men's facility. They're all over the country. We have quite a few homes here in Tennessee. And they have, I believe the last stats that I got, they have an 89% success rate.
Wow. At the Hope Center. And that's, again, national.
It is.
It's not just regional or state, but it's national.
It's all over the country. And we have quite a few of those homes right here in Tennessee. And so as long as there's an open bed and they can get that person in, either we'll get them there and drive them, or they'll come and pick them up. But it's been a great partnership.
Wow. It seems like you have partnered with a lot of people, a lot of organizations, either in ways of donations or in, like, for example, Hope Center, where you would refer some of your clients, I would say, to. Is that right?
We do, because we believe in next steps. I believe it's vital to see lives moving forward. And if they want help, I believe support and wraparound care is really important to seeing them successful. And if we want to make a change, it's going to take all of us working together. I don't have the PhD as an organization on any of it. I don't have the master's degree on any of it. We need to work together. For instance, we don't do a mass feeding here. I have pantries where anybody can go and pick up some food, but Loaves and Fishes up the street from us, they do an excellent feeding program every day at lunchtime. And so there's no reason for me to replicate that. I can utilize their resources. Our homeless can go there and then come here, or come here and then go there. And then we do an event together once a month where we take our trailers down there when they're getting showers and haircuts, and we provide clothes and all the things that are needed. So we do a big event like that called Shower Love.
Out of using your trailers?
We use our trailers for that. We use our trailers for a lot of our outreaches, because we keep all of our gear and supplies and things like that in there. Our outreach teams go through training so that we have situational awareness. We have, they can de-escalate a situation, Narcan in case we find an overdose, multiple things. But I'm trying not to replicate existing resources. We're trying to be good stewards and maximize filling in the gaps. We're not government funded. We are privately funded through just generous donors and our community individuals.
Which helps.
is very helpful.
Yes.
It gives us a lot of freedom to move quickly, make those adjustments and changes. And so it's allowed us to build some extremely beautiful relationships with local government agencies.
Right.
To be able to utilize our services too.
Yes.
And so it's important, I think, that all of us work together.
Right. I mean, that is awesome. Showers of love with your trailer. It's almost, when you said that, it kind of reminds me of the go bag, except you have a go trailer. You know, you're ready to go. You're
Absolutely.
just give us a call. You need a shower. We're on it.
Yep.
That is awesome. What have you learned in 10 years about yourself? We'll go there first.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself?
Oh goodness. How much I love seeing people's lives transformed. That's a win. We can build the greatest things in the world. We can reach the stars and the moons and all the things, and those are great accomplishments. But when a life is transformed, and that transformed life begins to go and transform other lives, that's humanity.
Yes.
And I would not be here today if somebody didn't care for me where I was in my trauma. And because of that, not only today do I get to the privilege and the blessing of serving our community and seeing that life transformation, but also taking my own experience of hope, tangible hope, success, healing, restoration, reconciliation. And I get to share that and bring that into these situations. And we get to celebrate that life. And there's no greater value than a human life.
Right.
And so we get to do that every day. It is a privilege to get to see that every day. And when you see a dad that overcomes his addictions and him and his wife and his children are restored and that family is thriving, and that's part of my story. All of my children have grown up and become successful. They're giving back to their communities and serving.
Right.
They didn't repeat what could have been a horrible generational curse.
Right.
But because of my life transformation, that was broken. And now I've got 17 extraordinary grandchildren, and they're all thriving and growing. And because I'm not trapped in that cycle, I get to enjoy them and watch them grow and speak into their life that they're going to become influential leaders in our city, our state, and possibly our nation or our world.
That's right.
And so that investment in human life is what I've learned carries great worth. And that can't be replaced by anything else. It can't be replaced by money. It can't be replaced by position. You genuinely have to love somebody.
Yes. You know, it reminds me, it's oftentimes when we are helped in our early ages, I could tell you a personal story. And because of that personal story, you know, a family bought me and my brothers, my mom was single at the time, Christmas. A real estate broker up in Michigan bought us Christmas.
Yeah.
And because of that, I turn around as a business owner, as someone, and I do things, at least for my employees at this time. Maybe later, I can do other things. But the point is, I like to give. And it seems like because of your own story, someone helped you. You turn around, and all it had taken was seeing this
Miss
Tina on a bench, homeless.
Yeah.
And look at that, 10 years. Just, God is good, isn't he?
Every single minute.
I have to say that because I think, although you are faith-based.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
My faith is the foundation of who I am.
There you go.
I haven't run out.
In that sense, you're faith-based.
Absolutely. Faith is my fuel. Jesus radically saved me. I'm not ashamed of that. I don't go out and beat people up with the gospel guns, but given the opportunity, I am going to share the hope that he can bring.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And I'm going to love them where they are because the person that met me where I was at didn't beat me up with, what a sinner I was.
Yeah.
They told me that I was loved.
You know, you're the arms, the hands, and the feet of Jesus. You are.
We are. Yeah.
You know,
we are.
Yeah, and I like how you said that. We are. You know,
Yeah.
And you, Miss Sherry Nicholson, and Yaipak itself represent what I just said: the hands, the arms, the feet of Jesus. You go out there and you meet the people where they're at. I like how you said, I don't beat people up with the guns of the gospel guns.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And in turn, people see that and they see Christ in you.
Yeah.
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 Doesn't mean we're perfect.
Oh, by no means. By no means.
I mean, when we work with people,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean we're perfect because, anyway. Man, this is awesome. I like this. You are served, right? No, you are seen. You are seen. You are loved. You are brave.
Valued,
and valued. All these are your values.
We try to keep it with every person that walks through our doors, and even when we're out in the streets or wherever we are, and community event, which we do lots of those. We want to bring tangible hope, and part of that is opening up the door by meeting immediate needs. It's hard for somebody to listen to you if they're standing in front of you and they're starving.
That's right.
Or they're hurting.
That's right.
And so what can we do for you right now?
Right.
And then next step, how can we get you to the next step? Can we walk with you? Can we connect you? Can we help connect the dots? Can we help make that phone call? Can we fund you go into a 12-month program? And so it's not just leaving them where they are, but hopefully bringing renewed hope that sparks their dreams again.
Now, talking about next steps, 10 years ago, you started simply by visiting the homeless in Nashville.
I was just giving out purses to ladies.
And this warehouse is what, about 50,000 square feet?
We have 35,000 square feet of a 55,000 square foot warehouse.
Wow. This is awesome, Clarksville. I mean, we should be proud of what Miss Sherry Nicholson is doing at Yaipak and helping not only Clarksville, but Montgomery County and the area.
Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee, yes. Another thing too is how long ago did you, you're in Houston and you're in Missouri. Yaipak is.
We have a division in Texas. Our warehouses there are located in Katy. So we serve all that metropolitan area all the way down to the border, the southern border, right on the Mexico border, up to the Panhandle. Wow. And if disaster hits, we would serve the surrounding states.
Wow.
And mobilize from our Texas warehouse. And we just launched a few months ago our Missouri warehouse that will be stationed in St. Louis.
Wow. Wow. So those are the next steps. Where do you want to be in 10 years?
We would love to see our programs defined. If we have an opportunity to open in another state, and the situation is right, like what we've seen so far, we'll step into that in order to help bring that life change and those resources. But our programs is really what drives us. We started as a homeless outreach, but what we found drove our programs and who we are today. Our Foster Hope program and partnering with our state through local government to state government. Like state of Tennessee has, Governor Lee brought in a program called Every Child Tennessee. And every county in the state of Tennessee is working toward not only providing wrap care for foster families that's sustainable, but bringing in businesses that say, hey, we'll cut those children's hair either for free or we'll give you 10% discount. But bringing a community together to support our foster families because they need that.
Right.
We need more foster families. In the state of Tennessee, we have anywhere from 8,000 to 9,000 foster children. We only have about 4,000 to 4,500 foster homes. So a lot of those homes have a lot of children. So how can we pique the interest and answer the questions to those that are contemplating becoming a foster family? So we provide classes here. We provide forums, panels to help do that for Montgomery County
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully help build the interest in foster families.
Mm-hmm.
We started doing that with partnering with faith-based communities
Mm-hmm.
because it can start in our local churches. So we need our churches to get on board. We
Right.
need them to show up at these meetings
Mm-hmm.
and be willing to say, we're going to invest in the orphans.
Yeah.
Churches are called to do that.
Yes, you're
And so
right.
that's where we need to start.
Mhm.
We developed our veterans program because of the veterans that we were finding.
Mm.
So Patriot Hope, we partner with VA Services, Operation Stand Down. If our veteran needs addiction recovery, we will fully fund it.
Mhm.
Then after their recovery, they get moved into their permanent housing.
Mhm.
We help get their home set up and get them off to a good start.
Okay.
We were having veterans moving into housing and we were doing a month follow-up. Their checks hadn't started. They had their housing, a roof over their head, but they had no furniture, sitting on hard floors. And mentally, that's a lot when you can't cook or take
Yeah.
a shower because you don't have towels and shower curtains.
Right.
So we immediately changed that. In the
Right.
first week of move-in, they get our move-in kits, everything that they need to set up their kitchen and bathroom,
Wow.
get them off to a good start. And then they get to make an appointment with us. They get to come and shop and get everything that they need to decorate their home,
All for free.
all for free.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that all of a sudden these veterans are proud.
Mm-hmm.
They're standing a little taller, their shoulders are back, and they're reaching out to family members that they've been estranged from for years.
Right.
And they're inviting them into their home over a meal at their dining table, and they're finding reconciliation with family members.
Good.
And so that's a very important program for us to see those families restored. That's extended to our domestic violence program called our Olga House.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 24-month program for a domestic violence victim and their children. They go through our classes. They have accountability financially so we can stabilize them.
Mm-hmm.
They either have a certain amount of rent in our homes,
Mm-hmm.
so they are learning to pay their rent and make sure that that's
Good.
paid and stabilized. What they don't know is that at the end of that program, after 24 months, if they complete it, everything that they paid, they're going to get it back in a check for their deposits to move to their new location.
Oh.
And so that program is free.
Do you offer
And so-
homes in that sense?
We have homes for that purpose. And so we
Oh.
already have clients in our home. We're getting ready to launch our new Josephina home that will be a 90-day transitional stabilization program for young ladies who are being rescued from trafficking.
Great.
Yeah. And so we're doing the final walkthroughs, the final cybersecurity. We do cybersecurity with facial AI facial recognition.
Wow.
We will have dedicated teams that we're working with that are experienced in extractions and transport.
Wow. That's awesome.
So we have that program that we're launching. With the success of these programs, we have extraordinary businessmen in the real estate arena that will continue to gift more homes for this.
And you don't do anything with the government.
Nothing is done with the government.
I'm sorry. I
It's-
just have to laugh because the reason I have to laugh is because it gets harder when you involve the government.
It
Doesn't
can be,
Yeah.
yes.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it can be, and
Yeah.
they all know it, and we've discussed it and talked about it, and
Yeah.
and we've done some work with the government, and
Yes.
it's because they've done. I love our county mayor.
Yes.
He was willing to step out with all of his constituents and trust us as a nonprofit,
Yeah.
which I advocate for. If you have a trusted nonprofit that has a audit, which we do our audits, we have saved and budgeted to fund an audit, so we have
Good.
accountability.
Good.
And so our audits have come back with an A+ rating and no recommendations, which is the highest audit you
Right.
can get as a nonprofit.
Right.
And so they were willing to step out and trust us during the Farmington floods. And they did a grant where we had to do a massive amount of reporting, which would have taken away so much
Yep.
time and effort. But they gave us with a stipulation, and we asked for that because we wanted accountability.
Right.
They gave us that $500,000 to do the mitigations for all those homes that needed to be
Wow.
restored. And not only did we did it, we were able to write a check back to the county with everything that was left over.
You know, Miss Sherry, I kind of laughed a little bit. It's not the local government. It's the bigger government that comes with stipulations, reporting, and all this that causes a lot of extra work, a lot of legal roadblocks, or I wouldn't even say just roadblocks that keeps us from reaching out when, in fact, if we just stay away from all that and be accountable, like you said, we can reach out and be more effective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And maybe that is, if anything, that is to open the eyes of all the senators and all the House members that, hey, maybe we need to back off a little bit, and allow people like Miss Sherry Nicholson to do what she's doing,
or continue to bring us to the table at least for advice. If you're not going to work on the funding issue,
right?
At least still give us a voice.
Yes.
And again, give the nonprofits that are doing the work, give them space to advocate.
Yes.
Hear what they have to say, because they're not sitting in an office. They're boots on the ground.
Right.
They're getting their hands dirty.
Right.
They're hearing what's being said.
Yes.
And so give them space to at least come to the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the local government has done that for you.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's awesome.
I'm grateful. I am grateful for our community. Very grateful.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Okay, so you got Foster Hope Program, Veterans Program, Domestic Violence Program. You have what other programs?
So we have our Foster Hope Program, our Patriot Hope Program. We have our Rebuild Hope Program, which is a disaster arm of what we do. I grew up on the coast, so I was very familiar with hurricanes. But when we moved here, a long time ago. But when we started Yaipak, we were seeing loss of life because of flash flooding and a lot of the homeless camp along the river banks and things like that.
Right.
And they have no early warning system. And when you're asleep in a tent and it takes you by surprise, you may not be able to get out and you're going to drown.
Right.
And so we were seeing loss of life and tornadoes, if they don't know that and they're camping in the woods, it just takes one tree to fall on a tent.
Yes.
Or big branch. And
right.
It's not a good situation. And so we were trying to come up with early warning systems and like, how could we equip them to know what's happening? Because we were agile and able to move how we were moving, Clarksville got hit by a tornado out toward Woodlawn. And it was just a small tornado, but they had blocked off that entire community. Well, we had small trucks and trailers that we could navigate in there and just bring hands-on in the middle of it, all the supplies that those families needed. And from there, it just began to grow, and it brought some attention to the amount of what we were doing by deploying to the hurricanes, because I was navigating that in the southern states through a network of people I already knew. And we were able to bring that experience in that network back to here when tornadoes hit here, whether it's Nashville, whether it was Hopkinsville or wherever. And then what really was a launching pad that brought recognition to exactly how we operate with that, because we were part of Helene, so many things. But for our own community to see that is when we were hit in 23 with a tornado on December the 8th.
Yes, going right through.
Yes, and it was a record-breaking tornado.
Right.
And so we were able to shift gears very quickly. Since then, we have worked with lots of local government. Mayor West called us when Helene hit, connected us with Mayor Woodby, which was in the Unicoi, Johnson City area, which was disastrous.
Oh, wow.
We were able to deploy that night, get in emergency supplies that they need for generators, and his work with another person on his team were able to coordinate Blackhawks from Fort Campbell to get over there and airlift those generators over. And so,
you've got to be kidding me. That is, Miss Sherry, that is awesome.
So it's
awesome of 101st and Fort Campbell.
Oh, they're phenomenal to work with. We work with them now on special projects.
Right.
We did catastrophic training with them to see if our equipment would fit their barges to go across the river in the event of a catastrophic disaster and all of our bridges are taken down and a lot of damage to our infrastructure. And so we do some incredible stuff with them. And we love that partnership. We want to be as effective as we can. We love our local emergency management and coordinate with them. We've just taken the new position of the VOAD volunteer management for Montgomery County.
Wow.
We are able to mobilize, not only turn this into a distribution site,
Right.
but we have a mobile laundry unit we can deploy. We have our mobile generator program. So not only can we sustain disaster relief from here
Right.
on site, but we also can get into the community where we need to go and establish hot spots for us to distribute, to sustain,
Right.
to do laundry, whatever that looks like. And we just became an accredited partner with the Red Cross now. And so that will be another level of being able to be effective during disaster relief.
So where do you want to be in 10 years?
Our programs excelling in all the other states as we develop those. I would love to see those thrive there, like what we are doing here. I would love to see an expansion of microgrids or tiny home grids that are rapid rehousing programs to solve homelessness.
Right.
Not necessarily that I would run it, but that we could advocate and be a part of that.
Right.
If it's meant for us to run it, I hope we build our donor base so that we can have sustainable employment because our small team is stretched right now.
Yep. I won't tell you my thoughts on that, but I will after the camera's off because I've been thinking about that.
Yeah. So
I think tiny homes are a great resource.
absolutely. We have 4 of them, 5 on a microgrid in Nashville right now.
Really?
We built them in our first 6 months of existence. And
No way. You're talking about 9-10 years ago? You built 4 tiny
there's
townhomes.
about 30 on the site. We were going to use our design to replace the other ones that were there because they were falling apart. There's been some transitions with it. The micro homes are still there.
Right.
There's been some new leadership and some changes. It's still going, but they're adjusting to their changes. They know that we're available when they're ready to start building those homes again. It's lock and key for our homeless. It stabilizes them so that when they have a job, and most of them take those night shift jobs, they need somewhere to sleep during the day.
Yeah.
And sleeping in a park, they get in trouble.
Yep.
A lot of people think, they're passed out on drugs. They need a place to sleep.
What do you think is the percentage of success when it comes to tiny homes?
I think it's great because it's rapid rehousing. Some cities that are doing that in rapid rehousing are seeing as high as a 60% reduction in homelessness. Dallas just launched a new one, and they're seeing great success with it. I've looked at other countries and what they're doing for rapid rehousing. I think it's Denmark. It's either Denmark or Poland. I think it's Denmark. I have to go back and look again. They have 0% homelessness because of rapid rehousing.
Wow.
Yeah. So it can be done. Takes the right leadership and a commitment of unified work in the community for it to happen.
Right. Well, I'm Dan Kinjorski, and this is the Clarksville Community Connection podcast. And we have been talking to Ms. Sherry Nicholson of Yaipak, CEO, founder of Yaipak, very successful nonprofit work here in Clarksville, Tennessee, Montgomery County, as well as in Houston and working towards Missouri.
St. Louis
area. Just listening to you, Ms. Sherry, Tennesseans should be proud of you and the work you're doing.
I got an extraordinary team.
Yes.
And an amazing board.
Yes, that is awesome. That is awesome. It is so great to talk to you. Thank you for allowing us to return and to get this right. Get our podcast right here with you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right?
you for the opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. May God bless you. May His face shine upon you and just give you peace and joy.
Thank you.
I'm paraphrasing that scripture a little bit. Well, thank you for joining us. If you get an opportunity, come by and visit Miss Sherry Nicholson. You might need a call and get an appointment. She's pretty busy, but I'm sure she would be glad to hear from you, especially if you're in a position to help.
Yeah.
May God bless you. Have a great day.